Hi, good evening, all, and welcome you all for a session where we will be starting and discussing about Salesforce Business Analyst credentials. So, we will be taking care of all those scenarios where business analysts work, and this particular course is designed for the business analyst with some kind of Salesforce experience. Although we will be covering those audience as well who do not have any kind of Salesforce expertise as of now, but uh, on a daily basis the candidate should have at least an understanding about how to capture the requirement and collaborate with the stakeholders, even has to understand the business needs, whether the candidate or the person is working in a particular domain or an industry where they are supporting the businesses with any kind of CRM platform or any kind of tools which they are using. Might be sales cloud if we talk about the Salesforce platforms, sales cloud, marketing cloud, service cloud, any other clouds. But also if they are not using the Salesforce platforms, they are also able to understand the business needs and capture the requirements. So this particular analyst course is designed for the people who are really interested to prepare themselves to start their journey into the Salesforce, uh, or into the business analyst credentials or in the career. So this particular overview we will be taking care of in the upcoming days, and this particular will give you an familiarity with the how the Salesforce analysts work, what are the collaboration thing, how they have to collaborate with the people, and how you can discover the customer, what are the ways of discovering this customer, and what are the ways of process mapping. Even we will be taking care of the requirements gathering as well. All After gathering the requirement, we will be taking care of the user stories and acceptance. So these all things will cover in a day-to-day basis. And if we talk about the overviews of Salesforce business analyst thing, these segmentations have some kind of weightages. If we talk about the first introduction of the Salesforce business analyst, the previously, yeah, so I missed this first, and then we will be talk about the underlining the weightages of these particular things. So I missed this introduction first. So those people who are working for the Salesforce businesses analyst exam, they has to understood that thing that now there is no prerequisite for this. Until May 23, there is a Salesforce admin which has been prerequisite in order to pursue the business analyst course. But now Salesforce has a separate module for this. So even they are coming with the maintenance modules as well. So now you have to pursue your business analyst on a separate part, not only required admin knowledge. Okay, so what I was talking about is that percentages of those different segmentations of the business analyst journey, which we'll be taking care of in the further sessions. So collaboration with the stakeholders is 24%, and it includes all those things related to the collaboration, how you can collaborate with the stakeholder, plan the discovery activities based on the targeted stakeholders, and in order to analyze the business needs, and you have to identify key stakeholders and develop them relationship with them, build a trust with them, because you will be acting as a alliance between those things, between your technical team, between your managers, between the stakeholders, between the clients. You will be the sole responsible person, and we will be taking care of the scenarios where you have to choose the most effective techniques for for streamlining the business needs, and you will be taking care of the current state and analyzing the future state and analyzing the gap between them. And even you have to understand how a particular tool features or how they work, and what are the best practices. So we will be covering all those things in the coming days in the under the segment of collaboration with the stakeholder. Next, we do have a user customer discovery. So customer discovery is a 17% weightage, where we have to determine how business strategies work, what are their goals, what are their initiatives, what are their challenges while processing or while defining the business analysis thing. So you have to discover how a customer is leveraging and benefiting from the Salesforce product, or might be any kind of CRM products, and even you have to establish the current state. So we will be taking care of how business analysts pursue their roles and responsibilities in different phases of the implementation cycle, and we will be applying those implementation cycles to planning the business needs, or you can say a business activities on a daily basis, or uh, on a step by step processes. So we have to demonstrate the knowledge of the CRM platform or the capabilities, their features, in order to recommend some kind of best solution out of your business. So we will be taking care each and everything under the segment of customer discovery, which have a 17% weightage if you are pursuing the course for business analyst. And then we do have a user stories, which is a 18% weightage. So we have to understand the component related to the user stories to perform some kind of analysis, and even we have to understand the acceptance criteria and defining them in a single mode or a single step. We have to document each and every stories, where uh, where we have to make it sure that okay, first step has been done, now we have to push it to the second one. So it should be have a control repository, you can say, to manage the scope, so that there is no project creep, right? So each and everything will be covered in under the user stories, which have a 18% weightage. Now we do have a requirements which have a 17% weightage, and where we will be talking care of the differences between requirements and user stories, in order to engage the business and technical stakeholders, you can say. And we will be taking care of how you can verify and prioritize existing requirements and identify new kind of requirements to develop the future state. So these things we will be covering in the requirement. And yes, again, I am talking about the control version, because we have to manage the scope. So we will be documenting all those requirement in a version control repository to manage the scope. So these things will be covering in the requirement section. And then after requirements, we do have a business process mapping, where we will be taking care of all those visual diagrams, and which help you to and break down all those particular steps into a manageable step, you can say, and gives you an understanding of how a hierarchical process mapping work, and what are the different levels of the organization, how one misstep has to be taken care and then push it to the next step. So we will be taking care of all the documentations in this particular business process mapping, analyzing those documents, and producing a good identifying steps for in order to visualize the future state. We will be taking care each and everything in a control version again. So this particular have a weightage of 16%. Then after that, we do have a acceptance, where we will be defining the UAT, or you can say user acceptance test plans, to confirm that yeah, the solution meet the business requirement, and give the UAT results to the senior authorities to manage whether the solution meet the requirement or not. And we will be in a situation now that yeah, it's good to go, that yeah, your work is fine, and we have done it in a fruitful manner. So this particular thing have the different segmentations: uh, customer discovery, collaboration with the stakeholders, user stories, requirements, business BPM, user acceptance. So these segmentations will be taken care in the further days. uh, I have quoted one of the best, which I personally like, that business opportunities are like buses, right? Because one has gone, now there is another one which has been coming, so there are always another one coming. So think about in that in that scenario, because you have to deal with the businesses on a daily basis. You have to improve your business which is running in your organization. So how we will be going go with the flow, like might be this is not fixed, but yes, well, we will be pushing it until because there should be a timeline for each and everything to cover, right? So on the 1st July we have started this particular introduction thing, and by 9th we will be covering customer discovery and collaboration with the stakeholders. By 12th we will be covering the ppm and requirements. By 15th we will be taking care of the user stories and acceptance, and by 20th we will be taking care of the all those things which we have discussed till now. So this is the timeline for the BA preparation, and how we will be doing it, and what are the areas of focus. We will be take care of two different scenarios, as I told you in the beginning, that people those who are new to the Salesforce, new to the business analyst domain, they will have to understand the how to gather the requirement, what are the stakeholders, how you have to reach them to the next step. I agreed them to build a particular process. And second one is the Salesforce implementation, where we will be taking care of all those things where Salesforce involved in the business process. Now, how we will get there? We will be taking care of all those theories part, where definition, codation, you can say, and we will be taking care of all the quizzes, Trailhead, because I will be taking the resources from Trailhead and focus, which is an authentic source, which I believe. So, in a summary, we can say a Salesforce business analyst is a credential which is designed for the individual who understand the business need, which I uh, told you in the beginning. So, you have to capture the requirements, collaborate with the stakeholders, and develop the solution that drive the business improvements. Okay, so this is the first introduction part of the business analyst credentials, which we will be taking care in the further days. All right. If you do have any kind of queries, please do let me know.